Update. Am I the asshole for not wanting to get rid of my dog for my pregnant sister? I forgot a lot of people wanted an update on what happened after my post. Sorry it took me so long. I read lots of people's comments to this and I was really happy to know that I wasn't hurting my sister or her baby by having my dog around. A lot of you sent me some good info. I decided to show what some of you commented to my mom and sis as proof that my dog isn't bad since she was so worried. Also told my mom I'm not gonna get rid of my dog because he means too much to me and that would hurt him too. My mom agreed with me more after showing her the info and said my dog doesn't have to go anywhere. My sister seemed more mad after, not just because of the info but that I told a bunch of strangers our business. She didn't see the post though. My sister still kept pushing to get rid of him because she doesn't want to be around him while she's living there. My mom and her ended up having a big fight over it. There was lots of yelling and arguing for days until finally my sister said she's leaving unless we get rid of him. She said it like a threat I guess because she thought that would make my mom make me give him away. My mom didn't want her to leave but that's what she ended up doing because I wouldn't give up my dog. For months it's been like this. She moved in with one of her best friends I think but she doesn't wanna talk to my mom at all. For a long time my mom was even more sad and that actually made me start to feel guilty again because it seemed like this was all my fault. Things weren't good for a while. My mom was talking to me less and felt like we were strangers living together instead of family. But she said it wasn't my fault what happened so it's not that she was mad at me for my sister leaving. She was just sad about everything and that made her not talk or be around me. Finally after months mom and me are talking better again and she's actually spending little more time with me. It's still not the same anymore though. My sister still hasn't called us an IDK when she's due but it should be really soon. Everything didn't happen the way I hoped it would but I'm happy to still have my dog around. He helped me deal with everything. Thank you everyone for showing me I made the right decision keeping him. You guys made it easier to give them all this info about how wrong my sister was about dogs affecting pregnancy and showed me I wasn't doing anything bad for wanting to keep the last connection I have to my dad. He's still here by my side and I'm grateful for all the support. I'm happy it worked out okay-ish but I'll hope you know there is a very good high chance that your sister will come crawling back after the baby is born. With the way her attitude was she is likely trying to hold out on the guilt trip but she's 20 and is her man even in the picture? Newborns are hard. She's going to reach out to your mom when realization hits her in the face. She'll probably throw some guilt tripping and maybe use the baby as leverage but hold strong because she's gonna realize she needs family and support. Edit. Because people were going a little crazy about the weird spelling mistakes. Sorry I was balancing a 1-year-old. So happy you still have your doggo. Give him a big hug and a scritch behind the ears for us. Your sister has the choice to do her own research on dogs bringing harm to babies. She has a choice to do what she believes it's best for her and the baby no matter how unreasonable it may seem to us outsiders. While I'm not the biggest fan of your sister from your original post and this update, but I'm also glad she has somewhere to stay for now instead of upping and leaving in the heat of the moment with nowhere to go. It's not your fault this happened. I'm happy you're keeping the precious dog and your mom understanding the situation. Maybe it's the hormones or something else entirely, but I'm curious as to why your sister is so adamant about her position to the point of saying with a friend instead of home. I had 5 dogs while I was pregnant, and still have these same dogs. My son is 4 now. None of his illnesses injuries have been caused by the dogs, and 2 of them are huge. Your sister is either being very ignorant or very spiteful. Please update us if she decides to come crawling back with a newborn and continues to threaten your dog. For a lot of people it's a lot easier to be pregnant. It gets so much harder after the baby is out in the world, especially alone. Also, I am assuming her friend is around the same age as your sister. Is that friend ready to have a newborn at their place? I'm glad your mother didn't force you to get rid of him. I'm also glad your mom told you it wasn't your fault your sister left. Your sister left because she's an entitled asshole. I mean, you are a minor child. You have to live under your mother's roof. Your sister is an adult who had chosen to stay under her mother's roof and who has also chosen to become a mother. If she doesn't like what's going on in the house, she is the only one of the 2 of you who has other options. The saying, beggars can't be choosers, come to mind. Your sister is 20, pregnant and doesn't have her own place to live. She's irresponsible and expected you, a kid who lives there, to cater to her baby. Nope. Aw, glad this worked out well. Your sister is a brat, sorry to be blunt, and I'm glad your mum saw sense. I remember reading your post, that's great you still have your dog. It sounds like your sister's taking out all her anger on the dog rather than her life. Where's the father of her baby? I'd do anything for my dogs. You are awesome. I'm glad you were able to keep your dog, never feel guilty about that. I'm hoping everything in the future goes well for you and your mom. Your sister seems like a really shitty person emo. And why the hell is she having a baby when she's still living at home, then expects everyone to cater to her? Let me guess, baby daddy bailed. She can get her own place if she wants to make the rules. Man, when I was born my parents had a dog that I grew up with. And while I don't have any kids, nor my siblings, my cousins have kids and my dog loves them. She loves playing with kids, especially in the pool. Seriously, what is your sister's problems? Dogs are great around kids, especially when properly socialized. Your sister needs to understand that your dog is your baby, that the dog is family. Your sister is a pregnant adult, why wasn't she living with the father of the child in the first place? Instead of manipulating you, a minor, to get rid of your pet. Her worry should be about why is she having a kid and don't have a residence of her own. As a shelter worker, thank you for not giving up your dog for such a silly reason. We get so many dogs surrendered because the owner is expecting a baby or has a baby. Every dog I've had has been protective of babies. Meaning, they wouldn't even let some people go by them without barking. This is an awful situation, but it's not your fault. If your sister wasn't able to take care of herself and her child, she shouldn't have gotten pregnant in the first place. Glad you didn't get rid of the innocent dog for such a shitty person. Make sure to keep to it even if she and her kid try to move in and push the dog away again. This person has shown her true colors. I can almost guarantee that your sister will come crawling back after the baby is born. Please chip your dog and keep an eye out. Your sister sounds like she would drop it off at a shelter. You are the asshole for not paying the dog tax, twice now. Your sister is a jerk, her baby will play with dog, and she will be using it as a babysitter. That kid is FCKED, your sister is really immature. Not the asshole. Your sister is useless and wouldn't have contributed to the family anyway. She's also gonna raise a little asshole BC. She is an aw. Nature versus nurture on this one. Focus on your mom and school. Go to college and get a degree in a field with job that has a high demand market. Computer science is dope. Apparently a lot of CS majors are musicians too, like myself. Take care of your mom. The only selfless person you have in your life. Make it so she can have grandchildren through you without the expectation that she has to contribute financially. Also get your mom a puppy. From a shelter if you can. Udemy has sales on coding master classes right now, so you can get an early start. I'm glad you're keeping the dog. Coming from a pregnant woman, having a dog around is no issue at all to the baby. I could maybe understand her not wanting cats because of the litter, but dogs. She's using her pregnancy to try and get rid of it. Good luck, and I'm glad you get to keep your fur baby. Something tells me your sister is going to show up more after she has the baby. Friends her age may not want to deal with a baby for very long. It really sounds like all three of you might need therapy. Your mom, you, and your sister need someone to help you with your grief. The more I'm around people, the more I love my dog. I remember your post. Thank you for the update. Your mom is awesome. She recognized that your dog is important to you. I lost my dad when I was in high school. My dog baby passed right before. I would have given anything if she was still with me at the time. She and my dad were really close. Wishing you the best. Your sister will be okay. She'll be back most likely with the baby. I have two cats and they are a threat to pregnancy. I can't quite remember why, but I know I was not supposed to scoop the cat boxes without gloves and a mask. I did not even consider giving up my cats while pregnant. Nevertheless, having animals in the house is actually good for babies. Animals to bring in germs and microbes, which help babies build their immune systems. So it actually would have helped your sister's baby be healthier in the long run if she did live with your dog. I'm so glad you kept your pups. I've had 3 kids with dogs and I wouldn't give my dogs away either. Your sister is selfish and needs to grow up. I have a son, he is 7, our dog Bowie is 12. He was extremely sweet when I was pregnant and couldn't wait for the baby to get here. He would sniff my belly, paw it and kiss it, he would sleep against my belly, and when my baby started kicking, Bowie loved it. He would spend hours waiting for his brother to kick. Finally, when my son was born, we brought him home and Bowie fell even more in love. They are best friends. So no, dogs are not bad for pregnant women or babies. She's being selfish and ignorant. I hope your holidays get better and I'm glad you have the dog. He probably helps you more than you know. Not the asshole. Not the asshole from reading these for years. My guess is that your sister will move back in with the baby as soon as it isn't fun for her friend anymore and we will see you posting, "Am I the asshole if I don't want to babysit anytime my sister wants?" I would say, while she is gone, think about boundaries if she moves back in and wants you to be a third parent. Am I the only one thinking maybe the sister was never pregnant to begin with or aborted it, and that's why she is not talking to anyone so she doesn't have to pretend to be pregnant? I feel like she wanted her way and thought that after Dad was out of the picture she could get rid of the dog and have her way in the house. Either way, she sounds like an awful person. After everything the family has gone through, losing their father and then breaking up her family at home because she doesn't get her way, I doubt she will be a stable influence for a newborn. I feel like I can almost guarantee your sister will be coming back after baby is born. Whether your pup is with you or not. Still won't stop her from complaining, but I'm glad you guys aren't bending backwards for her. My daughter is now 6 months and I have an indoor cat and chihuahua. Her baby shall be fine and she probably knows that. She just tried to use that excuse to make you get rid of your dog. Please be careful with your pup in case if she tries to give him away to someone. I would get a tracking collar and make sure he's chipped with your number on the chip. Etc. We need more loving, responsible pet owners like you. Great job, Op 2 Hearts. Your sister was ridiculous. I've had dogs my whole life and 2 of them when my baby was born and everything was fine. My child grew up with dogs and absolutely has loved being able to do that and now owns dogs of her own. Being around dogs is no worse than being around people. I'm sorry your mother got so hurt, but yeah, not your fault, she just has to face how self-centered your sister is. Dogs are part of the family. Not something you can just toss away. I'm glad you kept your dog. I'm so glad your dog is still with you. As a dog owner myself, I can't even imagine how it must feel like if someone tells you to get rid of your dog. I'm sorry that your sister is such a toxic person. I hope your mom will get over it and I'm glad she didn't make you surrender your best friend, that gives me hope. Wishing you all the best and tell your doggo me and my pupper said hi. What type of dog breed was it? You have nothing to feel guilty for, remember that none of this drama with your sister is your fault. So glad you still have your dog. Thanks for the update, and I'm really glad you held your ground. However, I've reviewed your comment history and it appears you have not paid your Reddit dog tax. Post it up. Glad you're keeping your dog. I read your first post and your sister is full of crap. Studies suggest babies growing up with pets in the home actually develop stronger immune systems and are less likely to have asthma, environmental allergies. I'm glad everything worked out for you. Try to remember your mom is just going through a really hard time and sometimes she may not seem like herself. Like she told you that has nothing to do with you and is not your fault in any way. It sounds like your mom loves you a lot. Hang in there, grief never really goes away but it does get a little easier with time. She'll come crawling back for help, believe me. That's the pattern. NTA. When she realizes how hard it is to raise a kid alone, she will come sprinting back. I demand the payment of dog tax. This is so sad. Still baffled that she thinks she's entitled to have a child and let it affect someone else's living situation like they were involved the decision making. If she's mature enough for a child, she's mature enough to arrange this shit for herself without asking her younger sibling for this kind of thing. Not the asshole. You did the right thing for yourself and the dog being given to you by your dad. Your sister just never liked your dog and she is using her pregnancy as an excuse. Just be there for your mom, and try the best you can to cheer her up. It is really not your fault. It has a lot to do that your dad passed that made your mom sad. And she will get better. Just be a kind man to your mom. You made the right choice. Heart. I hope you're okay. I think you made the right decision though. I've only had my dog for about 9 months and I would not give him away for anything or anyone. If anyone said, "It's me or the dog," to me I'd pick dog in an instant. I'm glad your mom didn't make you give your dog away, and I'm sure you and your mom's relationship will improve again over time. Trust me, once the baby's born she's going to come crawling back because she's going to want you or your mom to be her unpaid babysitters. Or her friend is not going to want to put up with a crying baby all the time and kick her out, and she'll have to come back. Your sister was extremely selfish to even expect you to get rid of your dog.